All right, here we go. In 3, 2.
Jizz is organic.
This is the MLW Radio Network.
Welcome, everybody, to the Mind of the Meanie, your weekly peek into the world according to former WWE superstar and ECW original, the Blue Meanie. We'll cover wrestling, music, movies, sports, and lots of useless knowledge, all contained in the Mind of the Meanie. I am your tour guide, Josh Shernoff, and he is the Blue Meanie. Meanie, what's on your mind?
I am composing myself from the pre-show banter.
Oh, it's going to be one of those days.
Maybe leave it in, maybe?
Yeah, why not?
Fuck it. That'll be a good wake-up for whoever tunes in on Monday morning and hears that. Why not? We won't call the episode
Hitting
that.
the wrong buttons left and right.
But it worked out.
Story of
It
my
worked
life.
out. Yeah.
Yep. So, hey, we're here. It's episode 43.
We're here physically.
Yeah.
Mentally, that's another story.
Mentally, I've got a full thing of coffee here that I haven't even touched yet.
I got my thermos I scorched my tongue with.
Oh, yeah. That's
Holy shit, that
ideal.
does that keep the fucking temperature? Jesus Christ.
Man, that's good. Yeah, mine does too. This is like my go-to because it'll be warm by the end of our episode. So that's like 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah, I wanted to bring up my coffee mug, but I was afraid to fucking spill it and ruin the carpet that Mrs. Meanie just fucking cleaned. Hey, dear, you know that carpet you just cleaned? Well, he got cleaned again.
Yeah.
I didn't mean it. No, seriously, man. Fucking allergies. Fucking. I love this. I love that it's getting a little bit warmer, but I don't know what it is. My fucking allergies are haywire. I'm fucking blowing my nose left and right. And I'm sure like I said before the show, is like we should call the episode "How do you smell?" You know, because it's going to be one big sniffle fest. And it's not, and like, you know, sniffle and people go, blow your nose. And I'm like, I fucking blew my nose. If I blew my nose anymore, I'd need to fucking smoke a cigarette. You know, what the fuck? Just, yeah. Just,
Oh, man.
I blew it. But,
Oh, well, you know what?
Yeah.
Sniffles and all, we're happy to have you with us here, Meanie. Like I said,
thank you.
episode 43 of Mind of the Meanie.
Weird.
We are only a few more months until we've had as many episodes as you've had years on this earth. And yeah,
That's a good correlation.
It's kind of crazy.
So it's all downhill from there.
Yeah. I think it was downhill from episode 1 was kind of the, but I like that. It's like a roller coaster, right? Like the good part's not going up to the top. The good part's not going, the good part is the downhill. So as far as I'm concerned, it's all downhill on Mind of the Meanie.
Depends on what part the roller coaster's in. Is it Six Flags or is it like Clementon Park? I don't know. Just
either maybe it's like sometimes I feel like the Mind of the Meanie is more like a log flume. You know, you hit the bottom and you end up soaking wet. What?
Son of a bitch. And then you need a shower afterwards. Because sometimes there's not enough toilet paper.
Oh, God.
Fuck. Sting's banging on my door going, you're destroying the rainforest. With all this trees are coming for toilet paper. Fuck you, Sting.
Steve
the
Borden?
singer. No.
Can this be a headline on WrestleZone? Meanie says, fuck you, Sting.
It sounds like a fucking kayfabe news headline.
So
Blue Meanie says, fuck you, Sting, and it turns out to be Steve, the other Sting.
Well, it's like it's like right out of the After Mags.
Do you know how Sting got his name? The singer.
No.
He, and this is, it's not rumor in innuendo. I actually heard this on the actual music shows. First Day with the New Mouth. Sorry. He used to play bass for the singer Billy Ocean. You know, back in the day, Billy Ocean.
Get out of my dreams and into my car.
Yeah, he's been singing for a while. Sting played bass in his band, and he would always wear this yellow and black fucking sweater to the gigs or whatever. And they say he looked like a fucking bumblebee, so they start calling him Sting. And that's your useless knowledge.
Excellent. We need a useless knowledge. Dun, 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 dun. One of those, say, you know.
Oh, yeah.
We definitely need one of those. All right. I'll get to work on that. Hey, who on our Patreon group are we manipulating into doing sound effects for us?
Yeah.
So, hey, wanted to talk to you. You sent me over something the other day, smartened me up to something on Cameo. And you have all the inside information on Cameo because you're on Cameo at cameo.com/Blue Meanie. BWO. There we are. And
I just did one last night. Yeah.
And was there another Blue Meanie? Is that why you're Blue Meanie BWO?
I figured, it's just easier since my Twitter's Blue Meanie BWO just to have it across all boards. So I get to say.
So the only one that doesn't have BWO is Pro Wrestling Tees, right?
Right.
Okay.
Because that's before I got into the whole,
In the beginning. I'm sorry, what was that?
Well, I was on Twitter and I was the Blue Meanie with 2 E's because some jerk off sat on the Blue Meanie and he didn't even use it. Man. Some fucking kid or whatever. So when I start doing, when me and Stevie were going to do ECW Unreleased Volume 3 for WWE, Joey Styles was, saying, hey, you should, he suggested that I, redo my social media to say Blue Meanie BWO because the Blue Meanie at the time was way too confusing.
Yeah, because people would just write Blue Meanie instead.
Yes, and I went to I switched to Blue Meanie BWO, and then from that, and I already had the Pro Wrestling Tees, so, but maybe I guess I don't want to fuck that up,
No, there's no reason, but because I can't remember it, you have to change it. No, come on.
Yeah, yeah. So I just started doing that across all social media, just so I go Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Blue Meanie BWO.
Yes. I can remember that. It's Blue Meanie BWO ever. But anyway, so Cameo, you're cameo.com/Blue Meanie BWO.
Word up.
I am cameo.com/ not sending me any emails when I reach out inquiring about joining Cameo. So, hey, Cameo, the fuck. But so Meanie sent me over a young man by the name of Virgil, fan of breadsticks and all things meat sauce.
And fuck money.
Yeah, Virgil did a cameo.
That's making the rounds.
Yeah, it's do you think we can play it?
Why not? I mean, we didn't seek this out. This is already on social media.
Yeah, so we can put. Let me bring it up. I probably should have thought about that beforehand, but let's see where you sent it to. Oh, here you go. Here's where you sent it to me. So yeah, I think there's no reason why we can't play this here. Let's make sure that I'm connected to my.
He put it on
Bluetooth
social media
device. Okay, we are paired. Here we go.
This is WWF wrestling superstar Virgil in Living Keller. I would like to give a shout out to N Auctions. And I'd like to tell them, back in the day, I burned a photo on live TV of a jerk. If he wasn't a jerk, I wouldn't have burned it, but he was a jerk. And if you had a photo of the same jerk, you would burn it too.
Okay. So.
Now.
Okay.
Because when you do Cameo, they could give you like bullet points and sort of a script to read. as you're doing it. I wonder if is that the photo? I mean, is that the promo they sent him, or was that him just freelancing?
So here's what that felt a lot like freelancing and free something elsing, which we'll talk about in a second. But so I Googled Virgil Burns photo WWF, right?
Oh, okay.
Nothing came up.
Not
now. I
really.
remember things like we talked about, I think last week, right? We talked about the how do you spell man? VIRGIL, right?
Which you sent me.
Which I sent you.
Yeah.
I remember these
reference.
Random things. I have no
You got better
recollection of
memory
him
than I
burning a
do.
photo. What the fuck is he talking about?
I don't know. Somebody fucking put some edibles in his meat sauce. I don't
So,
know.
so here's the other thing. Not only was he, this. So you sent it to me, and my response to you was like, "What? Like what? What is he even talking about?"
I was like, look for it.
Yep, and that man,
Virgil.
Man,
Is that
VIRGIL.
That's how you spell man.
Well, his ball is out.
Yeah.
Virgil's at this point, it's not. We don't know if it's the left, right, or God blessed him with a middle testicle, but one of them seems to be through a hole in his shorts.
If he had three balls, he could be a pawnbroker. That's a deep cut.
Oh man. So yeah, no, his
What does that mean? Yeah, he's hanging brain.
for I'm gonna see. I mean,
Yeah.
it's kind of for the
Virgil-
Patreon members.
Virgil wasn't wearing his good shorts that day.
That
Hey,
man's
you know what?
ball is just straight up hanging out in this cameo.
Yeah.
So basically, Virgil's ball can get a cameo account, but I can't.
That's nuts.
Literally. So,
Hey, you know what?
yeah,
Virgil, at least I had the decency to have my balls fall out on Raw.
I know.
Thank you.
Dude, that's the thing, kids these days. You know, like everyone can have their balls hanging out nowadays, you know, because of cameo. Like no one appreciates the lengths you had to go to make your balls accessible worldwide back in the day. There was no
Balls
there was
on
no
the ground.
cameo, there was no
Balls on the
Twitter.
ground.
You know, nobody was hacking into your account to get all of your nudes and post them online, you know. But yeah, so dude,
All you had to do is put on Raw.
yeah.
Or in Philly, Channel 48, because my balls fell out in ECW too.
Let's make this easier. Can you name 2 places your balls have never fallen out?
No.
All right.
Dude, we were in, oh my God. The Ross, I want to say the Ross Raver Fieldhouse, or no, it's the Briar Ridge Fieldhouse or something, right south of Philly. Somebody hit me. I took a bump. I'm laying there, selling dead, and one of my nuts fell out. And Pee Wee Moore's in the ring. Jim Molyneux's on the outside of the ring, and Jim Molyneux goes, "Pee Wee, tell Meanie his balls are hanging out." Pee Wee runs around, looks at my crotch, runs back to Jim and goes, "No." He just lay there, let me fucking air condition it. And then I want to say the time either me and Chad Austin wrestled the Gangsters, or the time me and Stevie wrestled the Gangsters at the arena.
Mm-hmm.
It might have been that. No, it wasn't that, because I was wearing overalls. We were doing the Godwins. Mustafa picked me up for a body slam, and my nuts fell out on his shoulder. And you see the whole fucking bleacher go, ugh.
Oh man.
Yeah, but never on Cameo.
No.
You know, Cameo. I'm from the chest up.
For good reason.
It's like I'm doing this podcast. I'm not wearing pants.
Yeah. I'm not even wearing a shirt. This is a tattoo.
You fucking one-upper.
So, Fight TV sent me some swag because, I mean, no big deal, but I get swag. They sent me a Fight hoodie.
Nice.
Really nice, really comfortable. The only thing is it's not a zip-up. And I was going to even wear it on the show today. I was like, yeah, why don't I wear it? It'll be nice and warm. But it's like, I kind of felt like an uncircumcised penis because the hood is all like, it was like all up on here, and I would just get kind of, I'd like disappear into it. So
I would like to thank Mrs. Meanie for turning me on to zip-up hoodies. Because I used to always wear, I would always wear hoodies, but it was always the fucking pullover.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I
like
used
the
to
zip-up is just so much more convenient.
Yeah, I used to do the pullover as well, but I can't even remember when I started wearing. But this has been my for as much as if you were say making an action figure out of me, where is it? There it is over there. I'm trying to point to it, and I'm mirrored here. I've got the custom ties, I've got the suit. It's kind of like a look that I have there. As our Patreon members know, because I don't get all dressed up for our more casual hangouts here. This is my especially in the quarantine, this is my go-to. I am wearing a t-shirt, gym pants, and a hoodie that is either So Says Shernoff or Mind of the Meanie branded. And that's pretty
You're
much
just
it.
missing a whistle. You
What's
just
that?
need a whistle.
Yeah.
You just need a whistle to,
Just be, yep, I'm here.
Yeah,
I'm coach.
accentuate.
No, but prior to the world ending, I would say my go-to was a polo shirt and jeans. It was just so, I would get and I'm talking Old Navy polo shirt, not a polo shirt. But I just had every color imaginable. And it was if it was winter, I was wearing, jeans. And if it was summer, I was wearing shorts. And and if it was, early 90s, I was wearing jorts. But, and I also, my other outfit of choice, and then we'll get to yours now that we're talking all about this for whatever reason.
Fashion.
I have plaid shirts, I'm part of the flock. It's ravens, not the seagulls.
Yeah.
But no, I have plaid shirts. All I would ever wear before the hoodie stuff, if I was just hanging out, it would be a t-shirt, a plain t-shirt and just some form of plaid. I was just always wearing that, to the point where when my daughter was as young as she was when she first started talking, we went to the mall and we're cutting through one of the, I don't know if it was a JCPenney's or something like that. And there's a mannequin and she goes, he's wearing a daddy shirt, because he was wearing a plaid.
That's cool.
But I don't do that anymore because here we are in the apocalypse. And also back then I didn't have branded merchandise that I could wear. What's your go-to street clothes attire?
Dude, back in the day, I had no sense of fucking fashion.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly just described my sense of fashion.
Just high school, in the 90s, I wore Zubaz or anything that was primarily close to even the knockoff Zubaz or whatever they were fucking called. Shirt, hoodie.
So it's funny. Fun fact: Legion of Doom actually created the Zubaz.
Them along with Dan Marino.
Demolition were the ones who did the knockoffs. Anyway,
you are correct, sir. It wasn't in ECW. I had no fucking fashion sense. I would wear cut off sweatpants and stuff like that. I would totally balls Mahoney it and stuff like that, and just he was cut off sweatpants and stuff like that. It's just I don't know. It wasn't until later, I was like, oh, you know what? I should probably be an adult and start wearing fucking jeans and and stuff like that. But yeah. Nowadays, it's primarily, if it's winter, it's just jeans, t-shirt, hoodie.
I'm sorry, real quick. Did you say balls?
You spell man, V-I-R-G-I-L.
Anyway. Anyway.
Dude, I can't believe you had the balls to do that.
At least one that we know of.
Oh my God. It was just like he sat in gum. It was like, just, dude, how do you not feel that?
How do you not know that one of your testicles is poking through an otherwise relatively small hole? Now, I looked into this deeply because that's what I'm willing to do for the Pod Squad. But
research.
Yeah, I'm researching. I researched for That Was Extreme, and I researched Virgil's balls. These are the
for This Is Extreme, it's pages of notes, and then for this show, it's just a round circle and a piece of paper with like fuzz drawn on it.
Hey, I didn't see any fuzz. You know why, Meanie? Because he goes to Manscaped.
Yeah,
Manscaped.com. It's promo time, everybody. Valentine's Day is upon us, fellas. So make sure you're ready for wherever the night may take you. Our friends at Manscaped, the global leaders in men's below-the-waist grooming, are here to tell you that all you need to use are the best tools for the job so you can be ready for anything on that special day. All right, Meanie, let's talk about this for a minute. 2 million men are already trusting Manscaped products to groom and make sure you're one of them. Okay, well, I know you're one of them.
Such a great transition. Yeah, that's right, Josh Shernoff. When I want to hedge the field there, I use Manscaped. No, seriously, Manscaped does a lot of good work here. They go the Mrs. Meanie route. She brought up a very good point last time. Manscaped raises a lot of money for testicular cancer and different charities and stuff like that. So with every purchase, you're helping others in need. I could go the either way on this, because I love a good fucking ball joke. Yeah, man, they do a lot of good work and quality products for you, below the belt and sometimes above the belt. They got the ear trimmers, the nose trimmers, everything. They have the complete package over there at Manscaped for all your essential manscaping needs.
Yeah, let's talk all about that. The Perfect Package 3.0 is what you're alluding to, Meanie. It comes with, check this out, without even all the other stuff involved, you're going to get Manscaped boxers that'll keep your junk feeling fresh all day. But let's talk a little bit about what's in the Perfect Package 3.0. Full of the best products to keep you looking, smelling, and feeling nice. It's led by their revolutionary third generation Lawnmower 3.0 trimmer, which has advanced skin-safe technology and features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents. It's cutting edge. It's not cutting balls. It's also waterproof, which prevents a mess on the bathroom floor and in the sink. I assume they're talking about grooming something else, or how tall are you that you're making that mess in the sink? Especially when it's time for
Challenge
Cupid
accepted.
to shoot his arrow. And let's be real. You've smelled the worst down there before. That's why I'm thankful for the Crop Preserver and Crop Reviver. These products keep our boys from sweating, smelling, and sticking. And these products smell good, or as Booker T would say, good. Their manly scent is attractive and will help set the mood, if you know what I mean. They mean so someone will have sex with you. The Perfect Package 3.0 will also come with the boxers I mentioned before. It's time to upgrade those overused pair of boxers to Manscaped's high-performance anti-chafing boxers. Easily the comfiest boxers I've ever had. That is true. They sent me a medium and a large, and I gotta tell you, it's large. And the boxers. And complete your grooming game with the new refined cologne signature scent by Manscaped. Yeah, that's right. With the same signature scent that's in all Manscaped formulas, this cologne is a perfect complement to the collection. This is the perfect package for your perfect package. Get 20% off plus free shipping with the promo code MEANIE at manscaped.com. Your balls will thank you. Again, that's 20% off and free shipping with the promo code MEANIE at manscaped.com. 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com. Just use that promo code MEANIE. How many other ways can I say it? Happy early Valentine's Day. Mazel tov for what this is going to do for you.
Pops and corks.
Popping something, right?
Yeah, man.
Happy to have Manscaped back as a sponsor.
Yeah. Not worse than taking off your underwear and just smell like fucking onion balls. Just fucking.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I keep garlic in my underpants, so it's a different scent.
What, you got a fucking vampire fetish? What the fuck you got over?
I'm keeping them away. It's not a fetish.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Yeah. Come on now.
I stand corrected, sir.
Yeah. I want
Yeah,
somebody
but it's
who wants
true.
to suck- what?
What? That's true. Mrs. Meanie brought it up. I feel bad that we haven't brought it up. They do a lot of stuff for for stuff like that, for testicular cancer.
In fairness to them, they don't include that in their ad read. So,
Well, there you go.
But they do. They're actually an awesome company.
Yeah.
And we can have all kinds of fun and talk about balls and whatnot. But everybody should be at least looking for proper grooming products. I'm sure we all have our favorite shampoo, we have our favorite deodorant.
Yes.
But sometimes you need to look at it and say, okay, well, I've been using the same product since, some people use the same one since high school. You go, all right, is that what you want? You want to smell like a high school kid? No.
Yeah. Yeah. What was the popular high school? What was the popular deal? Did you come up in the era of Axe body spray?
I was pre-Axe body spray.
Because that was a thing for a while where it's holy shit.
Yeah, I was trying to think what there was. I know there was Calvin Klein had stuff going on. Trying to think what it would. So my mom used to sell Mary Kay products at a time in her life. And so I actually used, as far as cologne, I used the Mary Kay men's cologne because my mom had a box of them just sitting there. So I used that. But then I think I also used, I don't know, I don't really remember what I used. I don't really do cologne,
I do for special occasions.
Special occasions, I'll break it out. I've got a bottle in my medicine cabinet. I have no idea the brand of it. My wife got it for me once upon a time, and it's just there. But maybe I should take the hint.
When I was in high school, the fucking cologne that everybody wore was Dracar Noir or whatever. No. It was in a black bottle or whatever.
Must be my time.
The only reason why I wore it is because as a kid in Lansing, and going to, me and my buddies would go to the arcade to, try to meet chicks and stuff like that. And
how'd that work out for you?
Not much.
Put your best cologne on, go to the arcade.
I start wearing that cologne after I heard some chick go, I love Dracar Noir. And I was like, oh, well, I ran out and fucking bought a bottle and fucking doused myself in that shit. Thinking I was thinking it was some kind of pheromone spray, Yeah, it didn't work.
Hey, it all worked out for you in the long run, right?
I had dry balls. No.
No,
where Chris Rock, you gotta say that shit like you mean it. Now you got dry balls.
So everybody who's listening to this, if you're a Mind of the Meanie listener, we encourage you to go to manscaped.com. Use the promo code Meanie. Get 20% off plus free shipping. Their products are actually fantastic. They have the ear hair trimmer, the nose hair trimmer, and I'm sure by the time I get to Meanie's age, I also will be utilizing that. But right now, I'm not.
I was going to say I'm getting to that age where I got to start trimming the ears and fucking nose and shit.
Hey, there's no shame in that.
I'm getting into fucking. What's his name? Abe Vigoda territory here. The fucking ear hair.
Here's the thing. There's no shame in the fact that you grow that hair. there's shame in not cutting the hair. And that's why you have to go to manscaped.com, promo code Meanie, so that we can take care of you there.
I'm getting hair in places I don't want hair.
Yeah. Tell me about it. Left nipple. That's it. Only left nipple. No chest hair, no anything. It's just the left nipple. That is not true.
I forgot what movie it was. I forgot what movie it was. They're talking about the guys had some movie. They're like, the guy had his nose hairs were so long when he sneezed it looked like a party favor. I forget who said that. I wish I could credit them, but
Nah, we'll just say it
or like, people have the fucking nose hair that looks like the fucking straw man sitting on the picket fence. Like one coming out each side,
Oh, like that. Yeah, nobody needs that. Meanie and I are both men of a certain eyebrow. And, and so, I know I'm familiar with wanting to make sure that I'm keeping things under control. Nobody, Meanie's stroking his eyebrows like he's,
I'm trying to tame him.
What's that?
I'm trying to tame him.
You gotta do the old,
Yeah.
But, join Patreon to know what I just did. Hey,
it's weird
let's
I see myself without glasses anymore. It's
what?
so weird. I took my glasses off to do what you just did because I didn't want to get my glasses. It's like I see myself without glasses, and it's like I almost don't recognize myself anymore. It's weird.
Well, you know what? Like I don't think I recognize you either because you're either wearing glasses or you're wearing your like. You know what? When I see you without the glasses, you look just like the dude from all the pictures you post from like when you were a kid going to like conventions and stuff.
Like I did a face swap app or something with my high school self.
Yeah, it's funny though because you have the glasses, but you're known worldwide for having like the raccoon eyes, as Blue Meanie. So it's now I remember there was one time we were this was back February 1st, 2020, almost a year ago when we did the On the Ropes interview together.
Look at your memory.
Yeah, the night that that changed both of our lives forever. Changed mine, I can tell you legitimately, because that's what sparked, this.
Yeah.
But you took a picture with Calvin, and there it is. And
I don't have any lips, so I can't really do it.
No. Oh man, that's a different part. But I remember you took the photo with Calvin and you were dressed in your Blue Meanie gimmick and you had the makeup on, but you were also wearing your glasses. And like, we took like a picture and then you're like, oh shit. Oh, I'm wearing my glasses. Hold on. Let's do another one. You took your glasses off. I didn't even realize you were wearing your glasses because they just blended in with your,
yeah.
But I have that picture. Maybe we'll post that on our Patreon page.
Yeah.
We can do that social media for everybody. As mentioned.
For everyone.
Yeah.
Yes.
As mentioned. Yeah. So what else is on your mind? We were talking about your clothing before there was a perfect transition into going from Virgil's smooth lone testicle to Manscaped.
He calls that, I call my testicle lone wolf. It just fucking just went off on its own into the fucking wilderness there.
Some might say it exited the wilderness. You don't know what's going on under that.
Dude, where was that video shot? Because it looks like it was shot under duress.
It does. It's like, we gave you a mattress. Isn't that enough? That's what it looks like.
Blink your coordinates, Virgil. Let us know where you're at. Like, back in the day, if there's like a hostage photo, this, like this military people were taught to do like a hand gesture to like let them know, if they're being mistreated or not or something. Let us know. Are they treating you well, Virgil?
Yeah, that's right. He's got one ball out. That's a universal sign for something.
Yeah, distress. Or maybe no stress. His balls are just fucking.
Well, here's the thing. You have to imagine he's free balling in those shorts.
Yeah.
There's no scenario where that testicle worked its way out of boxers and then out of the hole in his shorts.
So you know there's lint. It's just all fucking fuzzballs on lint.
Oh.
Like gum on a carpet. Just fucking just fucking
Man.
ugh.
Can this episode be called How Do You Spell Balls?
Yeah.
I'm gonna write that down.
Operator, what's the number for 911? No, seriously, I ribbed Virgil, but not like he didn't. Like watching that video, dude. I did the Iron Sheik roast at Caroline's Comedy Club in New York, and
I would
Virgil
like to have been there for that.
Oh, Virgil was on the panel, and so it's like all these amazing comics like Tony Hinchcliffe, Andrew Goldstein. I'm blanking on a couple other names, but the wrestlers were me, New Jack, Virgil, Nikolai Volkov, and it was like I was the only pro wrestler there who knew how to fucking roast worked. like people are roasting these guys, and like New Jack is like, that shit ain't funny, I was, and then like. I'm in between Virgil and New Jack, and New Jack's like, that shit ain't funny. And then Virgil's like, these motherfuckers talking shit. I'm like, oh, no. I was like, oh, no.
Man.
So they fucking put me up last. Like, I don't know why, as far as, like, the wrestlers. Like as far as, like, wrestlers and the wrestlers and comedians, I was the last wrestler. Mm-hmm. And I went up there, and my opening line was just like, hi, I'm the Blue Meanie, and I'm the only wrestler up here who knows how to roast fucking works. And the crowd popped. Because, like, Virgil went up there to roast people. He's like, how many of you motherfuckers been in a WrestleMania? And I just raised my hand. But I did a lot of shit just to pop, the boys, too. I was like, hey, New Jack, I'll give you $20 to come up here and punch me in the face so I can see some fucking stars on this stage. Shit like that, just like
that's awesome.
Yeah, it was cool. Dude, actually Comedy Central was recording it.
Oh.
And there's like a still of it on the old Chris Hardwick show at midnight.
Mm-hmm. But it was never
it was recorded, but they showed like a clip, and you see me on the stage and stuff like that next
sweet.
to it's pretty cool. There's a lot of good comedians on there. I'm fucking mad that I can't think of it right now.
I'm just saying it because I remember the roast of Britch Pritchard. The roast of Britch Pritchard. You all remember Britch, right? He was a great guy. The roast of Bruce Pritchard at StarCast.
In his britches.
Yeah. And I remember thinking that a lot of the people that were on the stage there that were roasting people didn't get the other side of the roast, which is that you get roasted, that the roasters get roasted the entire time, by everybody. And then they get up and they roast everybody. And they all seemed like kind of like confused by that, Yeah,
it's just cutting promos.
Yeah, there were some really good ones there though, but that's a good one. I encourage you to go to either sign up for ad-free shows or go to sign up for Fight TV to go check out the archives of StarCast. Oh,
they did.
My camera just went away.
Yeah,
Guess so. And we're back.
And we're back. And we're back.
That's why we don't do anything live.
They did. They did one for Bruce, and then they did one for Pat Patterson, right?
Well, Pat was there. Pat
okay.
was part of that.
Because I want to say Taylor Williamson fucking slayed at that one. He
wrote everyone's shit. They all took his stuff, and then by the time he got up there, he had very, very few things. But it was, oh man, he was so good. So
I guess that's a good point of writing jokes for everybody else. You have retorts.
Mm-hmm.
I could tell him to say this, and then I'll say that.
But I don't think that was even what happened. According to him, people like showed up and didn't know what a roast was and didn't have any material. So he was just like handing material over, like jokes he had made for people. He was like giving jokes to Pat Patterson, giving jokes to this one, that one. But it you know, yeah,
Dude,
he's
he
a funny
killed.
dude. He is a funny guy.
I
Taylor
love him.
Williamson.
I love him dearly. I just want to pick him up and give him a little hair tussle. You know,
All right.
this cute little fella.
All right.
But
Whatever you
well,
wanna
dude,
do, man. Do it. No, I'm not getting in your way.
well,
Do whatever you want to do.
did you ever see the photo of him in his underwear sitting with Heidi Klum? It's like the cutest fucking thing ever. He's like sitting in a pair of tighty whities.
I have actually, yeah. I think he
One
has
of
it
the top
like
models in
pinned
the world.
to his. Yeah.
Such a fucking character.
How are his testicles in that picture? Are they? He's wearing nothing but tighty whities, yet managed to keep both of them in.
And he managed to keep them white. That's why I can't.
He managed.
fucking
Let me tell you something. He managed to not. That man's sitting in a bed with Heidi Klum.
Yes.
That is a 6 to midnight moment, if there ever was one. The fact that he was able to. But I don't know.
It's either 4:15 or Mickey's got a hard on. In the words of George Carlin.
Devin
sure
Miller
it's
from
funny.
Patreon says Dan St. Germain killed at the roast. He did. He was hilarious. Do you remember him?
He texted me last night.
Yeah.
Dan St. Germain.
What did he text you? Sup?
So,
You up?
no, he sent me. I guess he's watching old ECW. He asked me what it was like to be ringside for or be a part of the Cactus Jack Jericho match.
Ask him if he wants to be on That Was Extreme.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, he brought that. Yeah, dude, he was fucking fearless.
Yeah.
So originally that was supposed to be the Ric Flair roast too, right?
No, the Ric
So-
Flair roast was supposed to happen in the Snake Pit Vegas.
Right.
So
Okay.
here's the thing with Vegas, man. That StarCast was awesome, but
Yeah.
was supposed to have been so much more awesome than
Yeah.
it was. And I just felt so bad for everyone involved because it was, circumstances beyond their control. There was like when Jericho wasn't there for his thing, it screwed it up, but unfortunately that just was what it was. It wasn't an intentional. What's that?
They're supposed to have Undertaker, and he couldn't.
Was
do
if Undertaker supposed to have
Kurt
Kurt
Angle.
Angle. Supposed
Ric
to
Flair
have
had his
Flair.
health
He had
issue.
a health issue. And Devin's saying we should get Dan St. Germain on here. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. Fuck that
I'm
was
down for it.
extreme. What? No, we actually fuck that brand we're trying to build. No, I in all seriousness, I think we're gonna do some fun stuff for episode 50. We haven't talked at all about it.
No.
But let's I'll write it down as an option.
I want to
maybe.
get Sandman on here sometime, but he's so technologically not prepared.
We're going to get Sandman on here when the world gets back to normal and we decide to record a show live from a convention. I feel like that's when we're going to end up getting Sandman on the show.
He's so chemically preserved. I think he's immune. I joked, not that COVID's a funny thing, but I was like, hey, man, if you stayed at the Travel Lodge for an ECW weekend, you're immune from fucking COVID-19.
Now, COVID-19
Everything that
shows up, goes I'm not fucking hanging out with what's in you. No.
Yeah.
I'm out of here.
Did I make reservations here? I think
Yeah.
I had the Holiday Inn on Packer Ave.
I'm looking for a different. No, I'm sorry. I'm looking for a different Jack, not a new Jack. I'm looking for a. I thought I was looking for an older Jack. Yeah,
older Jack.
Yeah.
Dude, the things that fucking happened in that fucking hotel.
Let's discuss. Watch it.
Oh, man.
We put that on the That Was Extreme poll.
What?
If we put that on, Tales from the Cylinder of
I thought
Sin.
Did you?
No. I'm saying
Oh.
if we did.
Yeah,
I was
would have to bring
shorthand
in-
saying we put that on and there's going to be some butts and seats was pretty much where I was headed. But no, we didn't.
I would have to bring on some witnesses for that show. Like, I have friends who were there who were like it's cool. I got friends to this day that like I know from ECW. They weren't wrestlers, but they were considered something, part of the boys.
Mm-hmm.
Like my buddy Sebastian.
Sebastian, great guy.
Yeah, but now he's like a responsible adult.
Son of a bitch.
But we have this saying, like if we see a photo or something happens, we go, man, if this was 96, if this was 96, ...
Yep.
Just because of the nights hanging out there, debauchery and stuff like that. It was everything you would imagine from every movie, like rock and roll movie, where like minus just short of somebody riding a motorcycle down the hallway of the 8th floor of a hotel or something,
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I don't know if statute of limitation trained out on some of that shit. But.
Well, there's statute of limitations from a legal standpoint and statute of limitations from people who are now far more mature going, I don't really need that story being told,
Yeah, I'm married.
Yeah. But as they say, Nova, if you didn't want the story out there, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
He's the one guy who really didn't come out to the parties. He didn't come out.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Keep telling your story.
No. Like he wasn't much of a partier, except for like when we went to like Florida and went to nightclubs. Mm-hmm. He came out and hung out, but other than that, after like an arena show, he lived like an hour from Philly, so he drove straight home.
So
but if I can like paint a picture, it's just like I'll give you like the PG-13 fucking version or PG. Like any night at the Travelodge it was like a 3-day fucking vacation. I know guys who lived in Philly who would get a room there so they could just stay the whole weekend. They live 20 minutes away, but let me get a room at a Travelodge or whatever. And like you could just walk down the hall, and like for that weekend, like the fans would like load up their fucking sinks and tubs with like ice and beer. Mm. So like after the first night show, you can walk up and down the hallway, and somebody would have like a deadbolt in their door, like so like the door's still kind of cracked. And as an ECW performer, you could just walk down the hall, crack open the door, stick your head in, you hear, hey, and you walk in, have a couple beers, hang out, leave, smoke a little, whatever you want to do, walk out. There's another room with the fucking door cracked open. You lean in, hey, and you fucking just hanging out. Meanwhile, the next night, it was like the same atmosphere, but you had to do promos. Like Paul would, take the top floor of that Travelodge, and that would be like where he would do He used to do them at the arena, and sometimes he still did them at the arena after the show. But then he started doing the Travelodge as well, and they had that top floor. And if I could paint a picture, that's where like Steve Austin did the Monday Night Quill promo. That was the top floor. Everybody's talking about like this video of me and Bubba Ray doing the Marx Brothers mirror gimmick promo, where like
that was there.
Where that was the top floor. But I was like off to a separate room.
Wow. So
you go up there and like Paul would be there, or his assistant Debbie, I need my draw. You go, hey Deb, do you know when they need me? She's like. Yeah, I'll write your name. Where are you going to be? I was like, I'm just going to be down at the bar, or I'm just going to be roaming around X floor or whatever. And like when it became time for your promo, they would send somebody out to find you. They would send, it's like Game of Thrones, send a Raven, go get Meanie to back up here to do his promo.
Yeah, Meanie.
So, some of the promos were, done sober or not sober. It depends on when Debbie sent the hounds to go find you.
The only
promo.
The only problem, from what I understood, was like there was that building had like an infestation.
That building was.
Well, there were rats everywhere, from what I understand.
And the rodents.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I lobbed you a softball. And you hit it right into my balls.
Promo code Meanie.
Fun fact about Nova. So on a episode before, I was making our little jokes that we do, or that I do. And then I made a comment like, these are all just jokes. I've never met Nova. I don't have anything. And my brother, Fred, of Meanie Toons and Short Stories with Swaggle fame, my brother Fred says to me, he's like, hey, I was listening. You've met Nova like a number of times. And I was like, what? And I wasn't thinking, because the dude I met was Simon Dean.
Yeah.
So obviously I know he's Nova, and I knew at the time, but like I didn't really put two and two together. And apparently I met him when he was Nova too, like way back before then. But when I met him when he was Simon Dean, it was at the Arnold Classic in Ohio. And dude could not have been nicer. Just talked with us for a while. So I just want everybody to know it's just a fun little thing that I do. Nova, I've anytime I've ever interacted with him, nicest guy. Except for that one time when he tried to get Stevie fired. But I'm kidding, it wasn't him.
And then you tell the story about the one time you met his twin brother,
Yes.
Donnie B, and you thought he was Nova, and he was like, nah.
He's like, I'm not Nova. I'm like, nah, man, it's cool, you know. It's cool. I'm one of the boys, man. It's cool. You can tell me.
I gave you the worker handshake, Dan.
Yeah. My fish was as limp as can be here. Come on.
That handshake was the worst. But, I used it until I got DCW, and they're like, no, we handshake. We just shake hands.
Yeah.
When
I first trained with the Samoans, it was very much like the little limp fish handshake thing. And I always looked at this like, this is weird. Why are we doing this? Kind of, you know, because they would do it, but they wouldn't like smarten you up to why they were doing it. Right. So originally my thought was, oh, well, they're Samoans. They're doing this because if they shake my hand like a real person, they'll break my hand. That was, you know, my thought process. But
that's a shoot.
Yeah. But no, it changed over time. And then, but the fun thing about it now is I feel like it's flipped. Like back in the day, if you came into a locker room and you gave a firm handshake, that was a sign that you weren't one of the boys, that you didn't know what was going on. I feel like it's almost flipped, where now you come in, you give that limp fish handshake, and it's almost like a sign of like, oh, fuck, all right, it's one of these guys.
Yeah.
One of these guys who thinks they know. I'm talking about young guys doing it. I'm not talking about old school, but like young guy, you know, you got a 22-year-old comes into a locker room, gives you that little worker handshake. You're kind of like, all right, like,
yeah. If he's not over the age of 40, you're like, come on, dude.
Yeah, you're like you read about that on the internet.
Yeah, the whole reason for that handshake was to let the people know you weren't a fucking crowbar, you know, in the ring, that you knew how to work. Or I'm sure people gave that handshake who were crowbars. So who knows?
Hey, listen. First of all, Devin Storm. Phenomenal human being, okay? Great guy.
Great guy.
He actually, you know what? I saw him at the Go Pro Wrestling event, Go Big or Go Home, that one that they did, that I did commentary with Joel Gertner. And,
nice.
And Crowbar was there, and I hadn't seen him since, I think, like a show back in 2002 or something. And he was I'm like, hey man, I'm like, no way you remember me. And he's like, oh, of course I do. There's no way he remembered me. But he was so nice, like acting like he did, that I really appreciated, because he didn't need to. He could have just been like, yeah, brother, you know. But it's a real good, really good dude who never.
He's always been.
He doesn't get the credit that he deserves for how good he was.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And he still looks fantastic. Mm-hmm. But I met him my first year in the business, first couple months in the business, traveling around with Al. Like I said, I did the NWA tournament, and I did the show the night before. And I think Al worked Devin on that show. Mm-hmm. And then I moved home from Lima, and I started doing all the Dennis Corluzzo shows. I would just show up. Mm-hmm. as you're taught, keep your gear in the car, show up, introduce yourself. And, every now and then Dennis would go, oh, so-and-so stuck in traffic. Brian, go get your gear, and I would work shows like that. And that's how I became familiar with the Jersey crew. There's like different, areas have their own crew and stuff like that. So like it was like Devin Storm, Ace Darling, Rick Ratchet. Ratchet's a character. I love him to death. Donnie B, Nova, that whole crew and stuff like that. But, Devin Storm, like he was definitely the standout. I mean, I'll say that whole crew was great. Mm-hmm. And they were always getting booked like in the area for like TVs and stuff like that. You saw all that whole crew on like Shotgun or something, stuff like that.
Back like
talented guys.
Yeah.
But Devin was the one you're like.
Do they still have like crews like now on indies? Like I'm so far removed from like how that works because like you're talking like that, like Jersey crew. Like I know anytime. So if I'll listen to like the Major Wrestling Figure podcast, right? Which I love, and I love, Matt Cardona, Brian Myers, but I didn't meet those guys until I was in OVW. And even then I didn't really, get to know them well then, but we always knew like all the same people because when I was wrestling and when I was running shows and stuff back in like 2002, 2003, like that era, I was spending a ton of time with a lot of like the New York guys. There was like Kevin Matthews and Danny Demento and like people, and
they blended in with the Jersey crew eventually.
Yeah. Well, they kind of connected. Yeah. They all ended up and then the Philly crew too. Cause you had guys like, there was like Drew Blood and, Devin Moore and like people like that like,
and the godfather of them all, Tom Brandy.
Tom Brandy just kind of sat back overseeing everybody except for when he wasn't there and the Patriot would show up, which was weird. It was always like Tom Brandy would like leave and like I never saw them in the same place. It was weird. But
I love Tom Brandy.
But no, like, so like I would know those guys and do you know El Shoes?
I know the name.
Yeah. So he was like a ring announcer and
I know the name.
Dude was funny. He would always do like impersonations in the back and stuff. But so I knew those people. And I guess I was probably like knew Kevin Matthews the best, but who's still doing some cool stuff. I know you're hoping to work with him soon, and
I am tentatively. Not tentatively.
No, you're
He's got
booked.
me on a
You're
tour
booked, Terry.
of Alaska. Yeah. I'll have to get the fucking trampoline out.
Yeah, right. You never know when your next match is.
I'm pretty confident that hopefully by then I'll have my shots and stuff like that.
I hope so.
For the Corona.
Yeah,
gonna take a little tour of Alaska, which has always been on my bucket list.
That's so cool.
Along
But
with
my point of all of that was that
Yes.
you were talking about your, like the Jersey crew, and there was like different like in that era, and then a good 10 years later, there, and that's not an age joke. It's legitimately 5-10 years later, was like I had that crew that I knew, and like even the guys like I was saying like Matt and Brian that I didn't know. Because they weren't working the shows like in the Philly area, but they knew all of those guys. It all overlapped. And I'm wondering if today, like maybe there is like that group where everybody kind of knows each other still. But I feel like the indies have kind of become like, they're all a bunch of little companies as opposed to indies in the same way. So I feel like now you don't necessarily know somebody because, oh, that's our like New York contingent. It's more like I know them from, Evolve. Or I know them from, PWG. And it's like, well, those people were coming from all over the world, but they all knew each other. So I don't know. It's a little.
It's a good observation. Dude, when I was breaking in on the East Coast, even with ECW around, there's, the Corluzzo shows and then, Kettner in Delaware and Dennis Whipwreck in Maryland. And then, you had your, I want to say Tommy D in New York. He ran shows at Gleason's Gym. And then, there's a whole bunch of crews. And from New York down to maybe Delaware, they all like intermingled, you know, at some way or another, you know.
Yeah.
Especially when Kettner was having the, they still have it. He just doesn't own it.
It's not him.
anymore.
Yeah, but the Super 8. Was that what it's called?
Yeah.
Super 8?
Super 8, yeah.
I told you about when we rented the ring from Kettner and the bottom rope broke. He gave us $100 off. But it delayed the show while they were trying to figure out how to fix it, and people just started walking away who were in line to come in. Good times. Yeah, man.
Yes, sir.
So so what else? Hey, you want to talk about our action figures for a minute?
Oh, absolutely. I'm so psyched that you got. Well, I'm kind of jealous that you have the.
Yeah, you should be. I'm reaching. Do a little reach around and grab the meanie. So for anybody who's on our Patreon, you can see I'm holding them right now. The prototypes of the Blue Meanie and myself. Dude, these are so cool. At some point, our schedules will meet up, and I will allow you to take yours. But these, I've had to hide them from my kids because, they instantly just want to play with them, and they don't understand what a prototype is versus, an actual figure.
Yeah.
I barely do. So, but dude, they're so cool. So I just wanted to say, shout out to cellotoys.net. That's where you can go. If you're outside the U.S., go to cellotoys.net and pre-order the Mind of the Meanie 2-pack. They've just signed. Obviously, the Nick Aldis figure is out now. Looks amazing.
Looks great.
Yeah, it's gotten great reviews, and that's the best thing. When you're looking at a pre-order and you go, okay, well, it looks really great in the prototype, but what the hell is this figure going to be? Well, now check out all the reviews on the Nick Aldis figure that has been released. I have one in hand. It is top notch. It is a really, really well done figure. And they've just signed. They signed. Who else did they sign? I want to say Jay White is going to be making one, or they're making one of him.
Page.
Ethan Page.
Yes.
And
there's 2 pages. I don't want to screw it up.
Yeah.
There's Adam Page.
What was it? Diamond Ethan. Yeah. No. All Ego Ethan Page is getting one. No word on Karate Man at this point. But they're doing an amazing job over there at Cello Toys. If you're inside the States, you can go to JB Toys 1 at Instagram. Now, I want to say some people have expressed concern with ordering the figures from Instagram. So I'm going to say this. I've had no issues with JB Toys whatsoever. Everything that I've ever ordered from him showed up on time, if not early, and in great condition. So I am saying you have nothing to worry about. I'm also going to go this far, and I'm going to say when the time comes, we will have some that you'll be able to get from us. You'll be able to order from us. However, you're going to end up getting those later probably than you would the ones from JB Toys. It's safe. It's fine. I give you my personal guarantee. You're going to get your figures. You order them from him, you're going to get your figures. So just wanted to throw that out there. I'm going to put our figures back before I break them.
Famous last words.
Yeah, they're so
delicate.
They really are. And I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see what they're going to look like mass produced. Now, we talked about that, I think, last week a little bit, but I'm so excited to see the mass production quality of them because, the Aldis figure does not look hand painted. It looks like an action figure, Yeah. And it's just so cool. But
I'm flattered that we're on the artwork on the back of the box. That's so cool.
Yeah, that is really cool. It really is. It's nice to show that they're not hiding us away. It's oh yeah, and we'll do that Mind of the Meanie limited run, but we're not gonna, we don't really want to let anybody know.
Yeah, man.
But nah, man. So what else is on your mind,
dude? It's just, we're this is episode 43.
Yeah.
And over the course of these 43 weeks, we've done a lot of cool shit.
Yeah.
Between doing this podcast, doing stuff for Fight TV with alternative commentary. Now we're in a video game.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have our own action figures.
I thought about that.
Yeah.
It was. I was thinking.
40,
I took a
43
picture
weeks.
holding my action figure, right? And I have all my ties behind me. So I have a tie over here. It's kind of blocked by the microphone, but you can see it there. It's got the picture. It's for Retromania. It's got the picture of me, the little 16-bit guy from Retromania. And then I've also got Meanie Toons tie that has a picture of you and I on there as the characters. And I didn't even notice in the picture I took of me holding the figure that I've got from doing this podcast and the way that this has raised my stock, I guess, in people's eyes. In that one photograph, there is a depiction of me in a video game, as a cartoon, and as an action figure.
Meanie Toons.
And I was like,
Meanie Toons.
I was like, that's insane, man. That's so cool. And I know, again, like, I never want it to sound like that you don't appreciate it just as much as I do, because I know you do, and I know you think these things are so cool.
Yeah.
But I guess from my standpoint, I always look at it and go, like we've talked about before, like, well, you're the Blue Meanie. Of course you have these things. Of course you should be in this. You should be in that. I look at it, I'm just like, how did this happen? Like, and I'm so, man, 43 weeks, just, this will get our sappy emotional part where I just say thank you. Thank you to everybody who listens to this and has not commented with, get rid of that guy, Meanie. Not get rid of that guy, Meanie, because everyone wants the Meanie, but like a, hey, Meanie, get rid of that guy. Just wanted to specify.
Get rid of that guy.
Yeah, get him out of here.
I made the right decision. So,
oh, thank you.
As we see on social media with just how other people are, it's like, oh my god,
yeah,
please stop that. No, I'm happy with our situation. It's gone from that to me building this, me and Mrs. Meanie putting this studio together and stuff like that. And now we got the Patreon, and we're, later today we're going to be doing after this we're going to be doing the watch along for the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, which is exciting.
99
Royal Rumble 99. There were 29 incredible athletes in that Royal Rumble.
And the Blue Meanie.
I was thinking McMahon, but yeah, that's
No, I saw that joke. One time we were flying somewhere, it's WWE, and Mick got a hold of the fucking stewardess. Mm-hmm. And
was it with the mandible claw or
pre-announcements? So I'm sitting in my seat, and Mick's a row in front of me, and the lady starts doing her pre-show, not pre-show, her pre-flight,
her dark match before the flight takes off.
Yeah. Her shotgun Saturday night match on the fucking plane. She starts doing her pre-flight thing. She was like, and I knew something was up because Mick's shoulder started fucking shaking. Like, I'm behind him. I could tell he's laughing, like just physically laughing because he knows what's coming. And then he goes, I would like to welcome all the superstars of the World Wrestling Federation and Al Snow. To which all the fucking boys popped. And, Al's like, all right. Yeah. But,
awesome.
Al and Mick had, like, pretty good rib war, It spilled onto TV as well, but,
That was great, though.
Yeah, just freaking balls, stuff like that. But, so when you said that, I was like, and Blue Meanie.
That's fantastic.
Because if you can't make fun of yourself,
make fun of someone else.
I take the piss out of myself just, to keep myself level-headed.
Yeah. I take the piss out of myself just when I feel overhydrated. Hey, my camera disappeared and came back. I don't know what's going on with that, but it has me worried sick for when we're recording other things. But
have we done our seltzers yet?
No. Let's crack those bad boys open.
Yeah. Let me see. What do I got here? I got ShopRite has a good brand, Bowl and Basket. Black Cherry sparkling water.
Ooh. There it is. Oh, it's a nice color. That's a nice color on there.
Yeah.
I've got the citrus and green tea. citrus and green tea with it's sparkling water with caffeine and electrolytes.
And that's another reason. I mean, I got to come up there to get the prototypes. I got to give you the concept art, and I got to raid your Wegmans.
Yes.
Again. We bought like $50 worth of fucking salts or something.
Here we go. I'm going to do Sandman style. There we go. Oh.
There we go. Right amount of fizz.
There we go.
I like when it hits the back of my throat. Trying to see how long I can hold that pose for.
Please join Patreon. Just $5, just for 1 month, just so you can just watch what happens on here. Hey, real quick shout out to our Patreon, patreon.com/mindofthemeanie. We've got some really fun stuff going on there. This month, we're Meanie's just frozen, but not frozen.
Yeah.
We've got a Q&A with the Blue Meanie that's going to take place for specific tiers. Yeah, definitely join. Check it out. It's going to be fun. This is our first month doing the Q&A. Excited about that. Don't know what's going to happen. There could be guests. There could not be guests. But really interesting. It'll be a lot of fun. Yeah, so.
Hell of a sales pitch. Yeah.
So just
we're having a lot of fun. We're having a lot of fun over on Patreon. I love the Zoom calls. All of us shooting the shit and hanging out and stuff like that. Especially last time I was around Christmas and stuff like that, so everybody was in the festive mood.
Yeah.
Now we're in the
post-festive,
post-New Year's gloom, which I hate this time of the year. From January to March, you could just suck a dick. It's
no, it's not. It's not good.
From January to March is like if it was a color, it'd just be like gray.
Yeah.
Just like dirty snow gray. It's like ugh. Because everything leading up to it's all fun and festive and a party, and January to March is like when you have to clean up after a party. It's like
it really is, and I still have to clean up after I still have to clean up after Christmas. We've got all like the Christmas stuff out. We promised my daughter her birthday is happy birthday. Happy 6th birthday to my daughter today as this airs, not today as I do the podcast, or I would have said we had to choose a different day. But yeah, Monday the 18th is my daughter's 6th birthday. We promised her that we could keep the Christmas tree and everything up until after her birthday. But
that's cool.
Did I ever tell you when I showed her the action figure? And she goes,
"Which one? Yours or mine? Yours or mine?"
Mine. I mean, I showed both of them, but but she goes, "Do you think you can talk to them about getting them to make one of me?" And I said, "Well, sweetie," I said, I waited about 30 years to get my own from when I first called Hasbro and asked for one.
Give her the number to Hasbro. Call them.
Yeah. So I said, well, look, I said, they don't really do it. She's like, well, why not? I was like, well, they have to make them for, like I said, we do that show and people watch and listen to the show. And then those are the people, they know us. So they would want to get the action figure, but they don't know who you are. So they wouldn't, be able to sell an action figure. She goes, do you think any of them remember that time I came on the show?
Oh.
And I'm like, I'm sure they do. I'm like, so now I'm like looking, I'm like, okay, so you're like, I guess, like a series 5. We'll throw you in there. But yeah, so she wanted one.
She's adorable. She's like 6 going on. She's a little adult.
She really is. Yeah. She's got ideas for sure.
Yeah.
Doing her own thing, but she's really, and my son.
It's like that audio slave. It's like the audio slave song. she's going to rule the world or something like that.
Yeah,
Chris Cornell wrote that about his daughter or something like that. But
it's true though, man. I look at her, I'm like, you're going to be able to do anything. Every parent says that to their kid, and I'm sure they all mean it too. You can do anything you put your mind to. But I look at her, I'm like, you really can. Like, you're not even 6 yet, and my God, like she's so creative and so much smarter than me. And
your kids have amazing cardio. Oh
my God, better cardio than me too. That definitely comes from their mom. But like, I don't know. I just they're. I'm a fan of them.
Yeah,
let's say that. But
they're over.
No, so she's gonna be 6 years old as this airs, which is crazy. It's a weird thing when you have kids like at that age, because there's some aspects of it where I can't even remember a time when she wasn't here. And then there's another aspect where I'm like, how is it already 6 years? Like, how is she this old? Like, cause that's the other thing, man. Like, she's getting older. Like, I'm like, where is this tiny little girl from a couple of years ago? But it's been best thing I ever did was have those kids. They're, and do this podcast.
A buddy of mine just had a kid, and I remember, like, his kid just turned 4, but I remember him saying, "Man, my kid's on the way. I don't know what I'm gonna do." Like it's like he was thinking about having to rearrange his life a certain way. It's different. It's definitely different than before having the kid. Yeah, that's why I said, like my wife and I, when we got married, we got married, we came back to our apartment that we lived in prior to getting married. Like, nothing really changed. And, had we not had kids and life had progressed, things would have changed. The more like you're married, like, that, like, just, the more you're with each other and you truly build your life together. But the big change of our lives was having kids, because and it sounds bad to say, because you can't do the things you did before, because, it's worth it. If you want to have kids, it's worth it. If you do, if you don't, I feel like you really shouldn't. But no, man, it's been a real change. And like, to realize, I guess, like, to see that you're like a part of someone else's story, if that makes sense. You live your whole life, and, everyone, it's kind of, we're all egocentric in that regard, that, like, because everything from our point of view, and so everything kind of surrounds us and our life story. But then you start watching these little kids, and you start realizing, like, man, long after I'm gone, their story is going to continue on, and I am a part of it. They're going to carry your torch.
Mm-hmm.
They'll take your torch and carry it on into the future, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, in a roundabout way, it's like when I helped, coach some of these kids.
Absolutely.
Monster Factory.
It's why a lot of people will always say, like, you've heard the story of, like, like Dusty Rhodes would always say, like, my kids, like my NXT kids and stuff like that. It's true. When you've been able to give a part of yourself to somebody else, and just, watch them take that and do something with it. That's a really cool feeling. And
absolutely. But they're my kids, and I lived through them, and then my sister had kids. I was crazy Uncle Meanie, or crazy Uncle Brian, and now my niece had kids, so I'm a great uncle. Now I'm getting those kids wound up and handing them back. It's just so
it's crazy now too.
I lived through other people's kids.
It's been almost that's the best thing, because so my niece is 8 years old, and so there were a couple of years there where I was fun Uncle Josh, and I could just kind of go and visit and hang out. I didn't have my own kids, and that was such like a special time, because it is different. But just as special. And I just got, Fred just sent me, because it's Fred's daughter, and just sent me a video, because their holiday gifts finally arrived. The last one finally arrived today.
Oh, I know that feeling.
So I haven't watched it yet, but it's a video of the three kids, like, you know, the nieces and nephew, that, you know, I guess it's going to be like a thank you video. So I'm excited to watch that. But then my sister has this adorable little guy. Definitely reminds me a lot of myself, which, you know, is terrible for her, but, you know, but he's just turned a year. So, you know, it's a fun time watching all these kids and stuff, but,
I got to call bullshit on Fred.
Yeah.
He needs to send you a thank you cartoon.
Yeah, seriously.
Of his kids.
You really should. Come on, Fred.
Yeah.
Get your act together.
Up your game, Fred. Up your game, Fredward. What the fuck, man?
He sent me a thing. Somebody on ad-free shows commented on the short stories of Swaggle that he's doing, and commented and called him Fredward. And he sent. He's like, this is one of your guys. This is from, you know, and it's very cool over there. I will say, for anybody listening who also checks those out on ad-free shows, he has completed, I think there's 2 or 3 more that haven't been shown yet that he sent over. So they're waiting. I think they're waiting on Swaggle maybe to do like the wraparounds for it. And I think Swaggle needs to be a cartoon.
Yeah.
I think he needs to be a cartoon. The only thing is, in order for him to be a cartoon, he's got to record these wraparounds and send them to Fred with enough time for Fred to animate them. But what happens instead is Fred animates the whole story, sends them over, and then Swaggle does the wraparounds, and they put them right out. But I think if they know what story he's doing, that Swaggle needs to get, you know, he needs to record, because then all he has to do is record the audio. It'll take a second and send it over, but I don't want to, you know, I'm certainly not going to tell them how to do their job. I just think every time I look at it, I'm just like, I want to see cartoon Swaggle, and you know, I know Fred would love to do that, but so maybe they'll do that at some point.
Hopefully, those cartoons are great, man. Just
yeah, he's doing.
I'm proud of Fredward. Yeah,
I'm proud of him too. He's you know, I know he's incredibly appreciative to you for kind of giving him the start and then the blessing to do other stuff. And man, he's really enjoying it, and he's doing. I think he's enjoying it because, you know, he's putting so much work and time into this, but to see that feedback is just, you know, I mean, you know how that is. It's such it's so rewarding, and you know, when you're working kind of in like what we're doing, like when we're doing the stuff for ad-free shows, in some ways it's to an audience of one in that regard, you know. It's pretty much like if Conrad likes what we're doing, that at the end of the day, that's what matters in a business sense. But then there's that part of you that really, you're not doing it in an audience of one. You're doing it. You want all the fans who are watching it to really enjoy it. And like, so you have those two sides of the coin. Like I know with ad-free shows, like when we did That Was Extreme, you and I both were like, when it got a thumbs up from, you know, Conrad and those guys over there, we're like, that was like a relief, like okay, good. We didn't just hand them garbage, you know, like I'm glad they like this. But when we got that feedback from all the viewers and listeners, that was like, that's where you get that extra energy, you know, of just like, okay, now I'm going to put even more time into this, even more effort. Not that we weren't before, but you get what I mean.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's doing a great job over there. And there will be another Meanie Toons. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
I know which story I want. So...
I don't think we've discussed this, so I'll be happy to see or interested to see what it'll be.
There's one specific story that I feel like needs to be done. But
I think I'm starting to get the idea. Maybe.
Yeah. Although I wouldn't. So I sent the Virgil thing over to you know, like we all have that kind of like thing you send over. Someone sends something funny, you send it to your other buddies, you know?
Yeah.
I sent it over to Matt and Calvin and Fred. And Matt's response was just like, he's like, Fred needs to figure out how to like work that into one of the cartoons. Yeah, it's
we gave you a bed, isn't that enough?
Yeah.
Such a great fucking line.
Oh, thank you.
It does look like a fucking hostage video.
It really does. And I'd say he didn't even make the bed, but there's nothing to make the bed with.
Right.
You know?
So unless he's just cuddling with his balls like a body pillow, and I just fucking.
I'll bring this up again just to look at this.
I did a couple cameos last night, and I try to at least work in my background, my Mind and Meanie background and shit like that. You know?
I mean I don't know what's. Fuck.
The fuck is going on?
Trying to look at it without looking at.
Your eyes can't help.
No, and I did not catch it the first go around because I'm looking at his face, listening, trying to go like, who the fuck is he talking about? And like, why is this happening? How much does he charge on Cameo?
Oh, that's a good question. Let me bring up the app.
Find that out because I think I'd be willing to pay Virgil to do a Mind of the Meanie cameo.
Dude, we're doing it.
It has to happen. But how do you ask him? Please do it with ball.
Do it with your co-host.
We want you to put all of yourself into this cameo.
Hold on. Let me bring up the app. Because they just sent me a fucking thing pitching Valentine's Day.
I want something. He's got to intro our next episode. That's got to be
Let's have our fans write it out.
Okay, so here's what's going to happen.
Have the Pod Squad write it.
Pod Squad, send us ideas. What kind of hashtag?
Oh my god. Virgil has AEW in his profile.
He did show up there, remember? He was in one segment.
Okay, let's play a game. Guess how much Virgil's cameo is?
I'm going to say he's charging like $75.
Close.
Yeah.
$69.
$69. Come on now.
And just to DM him, $19.99.
Wow. All right, $69. So
dude, all these videos are on his bed.
So hashtag. Are his balls out in any of the other ones?
I'm going to look. Let me see. Man, this one, he does not look thrilled.
As opposed to the other one. So, all right, we need a hashtag idea.
Jacob wishes all his Facebook friends a happy New Year. And Jacob does 15% of the work everywhere. And he receives 62% of the fuck money around the world. So Jacob, keep getting that fuck money and quit jerking the fuck off. Later.
So Slichter came up with it, and I think this is what we're going to do. Ladies and gentlemen, use the hashtag balls out for Virgil. And use the hashtag balls out for Virgil.
Yeah.
And tell us what you want him to say for his introduction to the Mind of the Meanie.
And we'll use that as like the intro for the show.
How many days does it say it'll take for him to get back to you?
Oh, shit. Let me bring that back up.
Yeah, because I don't know if we'll be able to get it for next week or if we'll get it. Because I'd like to at least. What's that?
Response time, 13 hours.
Oh, okay. So, the cutoff, everybody, is going to be Thursday night. How about that? That's the cutoff for hashtag balls out for Virgil.
He's 4.7 stars.
And do not tag him in it.
No,
because we want
this off.
Yeah, don't stooge this. Don't tag him in it. We want to be able to send, because we're going to take all of your best ideas and put them together and send it off to him like Friday night. And hope that he comes up with, this could be a huge letdown. This could be $69 down the drain, but I am hoping that he is going to introduce the Mind of the Meanie podcast. And I don't know. I'm not even coming up with anything. I want to see what all of you have to say, Pod Squad. Hashtag balls out for Virgil. And we're going to get Virgil and hopefully at least one of his testicles to make an appearance on our show. What?
Sorry, I had to hear that because the cadence is so bad.
Yeah.
Hold on. Somebody just hold on. I'll play you one I did.
Do it.
So I did one last night. Somebody tagged me on Twitter and thanked me for doing it. I'll give you like a hold on. Here's my standard one. Oh, hit play. Hey, this is former WWE superstar and ECW original, the Blue Meanie. Hey, I'm here with a special birthday wish for my buddy TJ. Your best friends Matt and Tara tell me you are turning 32, and I am jealous. But seriously, hey TJ, happy birthday, my friend. Hope it all is well with you in this crazy time. With everything that's going on, I hope you're happy, healthy, and safe. Understand you're an ECW super fan, and that's awesome. Because without super fans like you, there would be no Blue Meanies or wrestlers at all. So, hey man, thank you for being a fan. Thank you for supporting the ECW. But most importantly, thanks for being a great friend to Matt and Tara. So, from Matt, Tara, and the Blue Meanie, TJ, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear TJ. Happy birthday to you. Now, that feels like a letdown because my balls were still in my pants.
You remember the one you posted asking the kid to stop licking batteries? Stop breaking into the shed and licking batteries?
Oh, my God. Yeah, that was actually
It was like one of your first ones. Oh, yeah. It was live on your Cameo page there.
No, it's probably still there. Mrs. Meanie Pop, because like right before that, somebody wanted me to do a cameo wishing somebody just graduated college and is going to be a doctor. Good luck. I know you're going to be a great teacher. I know you're going to be a great teacher, great caring teacher, and all that stuff. And then the next one, hey, Billy, stop fucking licking batteries, you piece of shit. Or, just.
Oh, man.
The only ones I really don't feel comfortable is like if, hey, do a roast on my friend, and they don't give you any fucking bullet points.
And you're like, well, I don't know who your friend is. I don't know how to appropriately.
Yeah, if you tell me to say this, that, and the other thing, I'll be all right. Well, okay.
Hey, I just had an idea. Slichter, what are the chances of a T-shirt that depicts the classic banner of WWE superstar Virgil, but instead says hashtag balls out for Virgil? Just food for thought. So I'm excited about this because I think this is going to be big. This is going to be a big thing. Should we put out a tweet as well to get the ball rolling, or just if this is just if you know, you know?
Get the ball roll. Yeah, I think this is a Fight Club situation.
Yeah, if you know, you know. If you're listening, if you're a member of the Pod Squad, and I mean, it can be as simple as you can write out a whole thing of this is what I think you should say. You can write out a thing like have him mention and just one word, whatever it is, and we'll try and put it all together to whatever we think is best. Can't guarantee we're going to use everyone's stuff. If somebody writes something just incredible, we might just use that one. But try to come up with something really good. I am excited for this. Hashtag balls out for Virgil. Hey, speaking of fan interaction, do you think it's time to ask Meanie anything?
I believe so.
then I guess we should do it now.
It's time to ask me anything. Ask me something.
All right. I love how that has just grown throughout the over the weeks.
I feel like I should upgrade a fart there, but
we can. I mean, there we go. You got to provide me with something more.
Not today. I will fucking Full Metal Jacket Gomer Pyle my fucking underwear.
Oh my.
It'll look like a Rorschach test in there. Fuck it. You know, in Full Metal Jacket when Pyle blows his brains out and they go,
yes.
That's what I do to porcelain. Just
So we're gonna kick things off here.
Sorry.
With some no. Hey.
Sure yours. I didn't mean to yell.
We're gonna kick things off with somebody who commented on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/mindofthemeanie, commented on last week's episode. This is Mops. Right.
Okay.
Hashtag Ask Meanie.
I'm scared.
What's your opinion about WCW?
I like WCW. Dude, when I growing up WWE fan, and then the Crockett's came along, and it was an alternative, and then eventually the Crockett's NWA melted into WCW, and I liked it. Hey, if something wasn't working over on WWE, I wasn't involved. I watch more WCW. If WCW was like, go back to WWE. I liked it. I really liked it. I liked their presentation. It's just different. Of course, unapologetically, I'm a WWE guy because that's the venom of the snake that bit me. It got me into the wrestling. But yeah, I was a WCW fan. I went to a lot of the shows. I went to the Philly Civic Center, saw a bunch of shows. I went to, I'm a front row at Halloween Havoc.
You're the one who
92.
ended Nikita Koloff's career.
Yeah. Him and Mark Marrow.
Yep.
Yeah, man. I'm a big fan of WCW. I'm a big fan of wrestling in general.
Big fan.
But,
get your big fan shirt over at prowrestlingtees.com/mindofthemeanie.
I'm fortunate that in my life, I've gone to WWE or WWF shows. I've gone to NWA shows. I've gone to WCW shows, and I've gone to AWA shows.
That's awesome.
So, yeah. AWA ran Atlantic City for a little bit, and I used to go with my grandfather. And you could see me on one, that legendary Kurt Hennig, Scott Hall versus Steve Regal, Jimmy Garvin match.
Mm-hmm.
They cut it off right before the DVD. But if you watch the ESPN feed and they're, showing live from Atlantic City, you see this like little red ball cap go by. It's me and my Road Warrior, my Road Warrior trucker hat.
Oh, that's awesome.
Like, yeah.
Some great questions came in here from Mark and Dryden at Mark Matsuo.
Nice.
Always asking great questions. I appreciate you. I'm going to start with this one, then the next one's for you and me. But this first one, did it take Meanie a long time or not to figure out how to wrestle TV matches, where the camera or cameras were, etc.? And were there any wrestlers Meanie encountered that had a tough time learning how to wrestle on TV? I thought that was a great question. Friend of the show, Drew McIntyre, he has mentioned before that when he first was on SmackDown, he threw I think it was like a chin lock or something, and they were like, face the hard cam, and he's like, what's a hard cam? Like, he didn't know, because they threw him right out on TV right away back in 2007. But
right.
So yeah, is that, coming from, obviously you're doing TV and ECW, but take us through kind of to your first, my picture's gone again. Take us through your first
Speaking
TV.
of cams.
And maybe from your first TV to then maybe when you went from like ECW to WWF.
Well, in a roundabout way, in a roundabout way, I kind of learned about TV from Al.
Yeah.
When I was training. Not only would Al train us, but he would have events at the school. Mm-hmm. And the school was kind of the best way to describe Al's school, the setup was like a miniature Manhattan Center. It looked like the Manhattan Center, but shrunken down a little bit. And he would always record those shows. He would have like a basic like VHS camcorder to record the show so we could watch them back. But like he always made it a point to, if I'm going to do something, do it facing the camera, kind of thing, you know. But when I really started, like when I got to ECW, there's like I was aware of the cameras. I'm a ham anyway, so I'm always trying to like get on camera or do shit, I will always seek out cameras, whether it's like there's a news crew in town, I'll walk by and just like, stare at them like, photo bomb. I was photo bombing before there was, a name for it. But there was one specific time.
One Pacific time, I believe, is 4 Eastern.
Yeah. ECW was running the Lost Battalion Hall, and we were doing a promo with Joey Styles, and Stevie was talking to Joey, and I kept walking into Stevie's shot, and you kind of see Stevie put his arm out and go, move back. And then it went off. I went, oh. And a similar thing happened when we invaded Raw, because Stevie's about to do the, we're taking over line, and I'm kind of stepping into his fucking shot, and I'm just like, I look back at it now, I'm just like, But, you always, you're always taught, look for the camera, whether, hard camera, or if you're selling up to a ropes, find the camera and, do your facial expressions into the camera and stuff like that. I kind of had an inkling to do it, but to get used to doing it, it was the ECW that, got me into the rhythm of, Al's only had one camera, to where ECW we had 2 cameras, sometimes 3.
So then you're in WWF, and they've got
there's cameras everywhere. But
a million cameras. The cameras you don't even know are there. We've heard those stories. We've heard those stories about where there's like this. I think it was like the Batista thing where he got like fined for like doing a blade job, and he's like, "Oh no, it was legit." And they like bring out a video, and they're like, "This is, what about on this camera angle?" And he's like, "The fuck camera angle is this?" And it was like some random camera that was like all the way up in the corner of the arena, like catching them. So you're in there now, more so than even just, because I assume it's just more of the look for the red light type deal, to know what's on. 2 questions that I have to kind of piggyback off of Mark's question. One, how distracting is the Titantron? Between the slight delay, because there is a slight delay of the Titantron, and the fact that you're kind of seeing yourself out of the corner of your eye, depending on where, is it distracting or is it helpful, or both? Then my other question is not so much about the cameras, but how difficult was it to get used to TV in the sense of like, if you go to commercial, or if they're going to throw to a backstage thing in the middle of your match or something, where you're used to being out there and you and your opponent are either calling it in the ring or you've gone through something ahead of time or whatever it is. But now you've got a referee kind of going like, okay, we got, going to commercial and this, going to that, do this, do that. Is that what you experienced back then? Or so fill us in on all that.
I was never in one of those situations, really.
You were never a multi-segment guy?
No. No, it was always that one segment, like whether I was in Al's corner or doing something for Shotgun where you just have the match and, they wind up splicing and dicing it in post anyway.
Right.
There's been times where I've been in the ring where, you're going through the progression. Like before you go out, you go, hey, can you give me a 1-minute cue? Which
just to know when to.
Say, like I would say to Bruce, hey, can you give me a 1-minute cue? which meant, let me know when there's a minute left so we know when to take it home.
Yeah.
Some people need a 2-minute cue. Some people need a 1-minute cue.
I guess it depends on what your finish is, right?
Yeah. Yeah, my finish was like, give me a 1-minute cue, and then, the referee would go, okay, 1 minute.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, you're going along and you're waiting for that 1-minute cue, and then they fucking stretch the match out. And you just want to stand there and go, what? Come on. And then there's times, where they fucking take you home early, You're like, oh, shit. And then you have to edit on the fly and chop out a bunch of shit. So, Meltzer might go, oh, that match was 3 stars. But, yeah, they fucking made me go home early.
Yeah.
There's so much that goes on that a lot of people can't even imagine. But, especially with the announcers, I did commentary once. I had to wear the headsets, and just to hear all those people talking in your ear, and then you're trying to have a thought and spit it out.
I can't even imagine. That's one thing.
That's an art form.
I can't, people are very critical, myself included, of some of the commentators. But holy crap. How do you do that? How do you think? I can barely think when no one's in my ear.
Yeah, I did it once on Sunday Night Heat, and it was cool, but it was awkward. It was so awkward. All right, we're on camera 2, and you're just hearing all this stuff, and you're like, But
Travis,
yeah. Was there another part of that question?
No. No, I think that covers it. Travis Steenstra wants to know: have you ever had to reshoot a segment on a taped show?
On a tape show? Oh. No. Well, I've had to do multiple takes of, a segment.
Mm-hmm.
Like once we filmed it, but like, you say something and then you flub it up, or you have to do another take because, the guy producing it wasn't happy with your inflection or cadence or whatever, right. Stuff like that. Or, somebody's interviewing you, and then while you're doing the promo with them, you're watching their lips as they're saying the promo back to you, and it's kind of fucking you up, and you're just like, please stop doing that. And then, I've never had to, like, film something, then go back and they go, oh shit, we forgot this, and then go back and film it again. I've not, like, if I've had to reshoot something, I've done multiple takes right at that time.
Mark has another question. Can Meanie and Josh name their Mount Rushmore of believable men's and women's wrestlers? And I thought that was interesting because it wasn't your favorite, wasn't the best, most believable. You want to do your, you want to go first?
Number one would have to be Bruno, I guess. Just for the fact that, anytime somebody goes, oh, you're a wrestler. Man, I remember why I used to watch Bruno. That's when wrestling was real. Mm-hmm. When people equate wrestling with Bruno Sammartino, they go, that's when wrestling was real.
Mm-hmm.
Real guy. There's so many. I'm sure you could say Luthez, whatever, but I never really got a chance to see him. So, Bruno was real. Steve Austin was the real deal. Mm-hmm. Who else was real? Like, real from the shooters, or just
like no. I think like from like so. I'll give you just from some of the men like, thinking in my mind already. Like for me, Steve Austin would be one of them.
He was real.
Bret Hart would be another one. Taz in ECW for me was real. When I saw Taz, like I knew what I was watching, but I'd always look at that and like always kind of second guess in the back of my mind, like, oh, someone really pissed him off. Like you start telling yourself, like, I know this is a work, but I think Taz got hot, which maybe he did. maybe that happened in some of those. But, so that was how I read it. And that was for me, like I saw things like that. Like, for instance, like Hulk Hogan, never in a million years would he be on that list, Yeah. Even a guy like Shawn Michaels, who I love, I don't know that I'd put him on that list. There was a whole lot of high flying, flamboyant stuff, but like there was something about some of these other guys just seemed so damn real. But in that regard, I think I'd have to throw in like a Sabu too, like or a fucking New Jack.
Look at the scar.
Because it was real.
New Jack. Yeah. Bruno, Stone Cold, Bob Backlund. Because like every week he was doing like 1 week he would do the fucking Harvard step test and just do that for an hour for the whole show. You're like, man, holy shit. And then you try to do it and you're like, do 4 and you go, fuck it. You know, fuck that shit. Yeah, fucking, you would have to say New Jack, right?
Yeah. What about women? And I don't know.
A lot of things rappers rapped about doing New Jack really did.
Yeah. What about women?
Medusa.
I was gonna say, yeah. I was gonna say, I don't think anyone. I don't mean to be, rude about it, but there's not a lot today, unfortunately, because of the way they're presented. Like a Shayna Baszler or a Ronda Rousey, right off the bat, I'd have to put on there. But then it's like, so I guess if we look at it as like who can be real versus, because Shayna Baszler at the same time she's losing to Lana or something, like no, like that's not happening in real life under any circumstance. Not a knock on Lana, but it's just never happening. So that kind of helps take you out of it. But yeah, I'd have to say,
but that adds to the credibility because you go, yeah, in real life that wouldn't happen,
right?
So that's another reason to go, oh, that person's real.
Yeah.
So Shayna Baszler, Medusa's my number one. Because, I would look at the After magazines. She's doing kickboxing and shit. You're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Who else is there? I would have to say Bull Nakano. Watching those, the tapes of her in Japan and then before she came to WWE, and she was just like a badass, just like, I just saw a clip the other day of like, when they hand the wrestlers flowers and she takes the flowers and just throws them. It's like, fuck your flowers, So
Asuka's one pre WWE. Asuka.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, Medusa I think would have to be on the list.
Oh, I'll throw Natty Neidhart on there too.
Natty is someone who I feel could legit. Yeah. And it's tough sometimes. It really is tough to kind of separate their presentation versus, because I feel like back in the day, they were presented more the way they are. Now they're presented more in a, just this is what we've come up with. And, here's, insert wrestler here. Like, okay, this is the match we're doing no matter what. Okay, who's going to be in it? Is it going to be Natty? Is it going to be Lana? Is it going to be that? Like, who's going to be in the match? But yeah, I thought that was a fun.
Oh, that was a great question.
Jonathan Chambers writes, any favorite episodes of the Golden Girls?
Shit. I know somebody was just talking about, like 3 people I know said, I just started watching The Sopranos for the first time, and I'm like, and automatically I was like, oh, wait till you get to the Pine Barrens episode. But when it comes to Golden Girls, man, there's so many good ones.
That reminds me, we've got the 86 Weeks shirt coming soon to Pro Wrestling Tees. It's fantastic.
That's awesome. I love our community. Fuck. The one thing that used to drive me, that drove me nuts about the Golden Girls is they would always do that fucking end of season recap show. It's like, oh.
Yeah.
You have to get back
to
me on that
some of the writers, like they just wanted to go on vacation early or something. I don't know.
Yeah. It's like the last day of school when you're just signing everybody's yearbooks and you're not really teaching a lesson, but you're just, going over what you guys did for the first part of the year.
Those were the best days.
Yeah.
At Johnny Rassel writes, you can only watch 3 horror movies for the rest of your life. What are they? Fun question.
Nightmare on Elm Street 3.
Yeah, definitely not 2. I don't know why I put 2 up. Definitely not 2. 3. 2 is garbage.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me see. 'Cause that's my all-time favorite. Nightmare on Elm Street 3. Dream Warriors. Then there would have to be The Hitcher with Rutger Hauer and C. Thomas Howell, which is a fucking underrated. It's not really a horror movie, but it's like suspense horror, where C. Thomas Howell picks up this hitchhiker. Like, he works for a rental car company. He's returning a car, driving a car back across country or whatever, returning it. He picks up a hitchhiker, and it's just Rutger Hauer, one of the best villains ever. And this movie, like, to this day, still fucking, gives me the creeps.
Yeah.
Probably The Exorcist, just because it fucked me up so much as a kid. I remember I watched that movie and I was like, can somebody check on me while I'm sleeping? Kind of thing. Like, I can't go to sleep. Oh, we'll keep coming in and checking on you.
I'm not sure with, like, I think for me it would be Nightmare on Elm Street 3, the first Scream. And remember, I was at that age.
Yeah.
I was like the prime age at that point for, I was high school, they were high school. I was into that. I'm trying to think.
I'm also trying to think what's considered a horror movie.
Well, that's the thing. Suspense, thriller versus horror. There's some that are like that fine line. But no, you named some good ones there. Question from James Sorensen. James Sorensen writes, peanut M&Ms or peanut butter M&Ms? Although he spelled the second M&Ms like Eminem the rapper. So peanut M&Ms or Eminem the rapper with peanut butter on him?
Peanut M&Ms.
Yeah, I'm going to say peanut M&Ms too.
Every day and twice on Sunday.
Pretzel M&Ms can sometimes, those are pretty good sometimes. And you need
I like
to
to bite the shell. I like to bite the shell in half and then extract the peanut.
100% do the same thing. I 100% do the same thing. And I like it on long road trips because it makes the snack, it extends the snack.
Yes.
Okay, here's one. What are your thoughts on the Van Halen 3 album? This comes to us from Doom Buggy Dev.
Great question. I liked it. They were just doomed no pun intended. They were just doomed, going to like Gorilla Monsoon would say, they went to the well one too many times with getting a new singer. Mm-hmm. But there's a weird dynamic with the Sharon thing where I think it could have worked if they had gotten Gary into the band and just went and did a tour and played together live for like a year and a half, and then went into the studio and did an album where they just did this album kind of cold. And the album's good, but it's very experimental. It's very not Van Halen, but it is Van Halen. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
no, I got you.
I can hear, like, there's a song on there called Once, and I'm just like, man, that's a Peter Gabriel song. That could easily be like Peter Gabriel, which is one of Eddie's favorite artists. Eddie's a huge Eric Clapton mark, huge Peter Gabriel mark, and a huge Alan Holdsworth mark, who, if you listen to Eddie's playing and you go listen to Alan Holdsworth, you're like, I can see where Eddie got some. Alan Holdsworth was like this experimental guitar player and a little bit like a jazz player, and Eddie loved him. So a lot of those influences, like that Eddie didn't do on like previous albums, came out on Van Halen 3. And Van Halen 3 was a greater album. I don't give a shit what anybody says. I love it. I love anything Eddie Van Halen because, dude, you have the second greatest guitar player since maybe Jimi Hendrix. I'll spot you Jimi Hendrix. To me, it's Eddie Van Halen, but I'll spot you Jimi Hendrix. You want to say Hendrix? Okay. But as far as innovation, and inspiring a generation of players to where, like, Eddie not only inspired, he created a way to play that a lot of people hadn't done, but he created technology for guitar players, and I'm not a guitar player. I can't read a lick of fucking music. But I used to always buy the Guitar Player magazines to read his interviews. I had no idea what he was talking about. But,
awesome.
Flanger, all right, whatever. Okay, Ed, yeah, sure, all right,
That's awesome.
But, yeah, he created so much technology that's still being put out from, drop D tuning and then, his own line of amplifiers and stuff like that. And
there is a drop D. I want to say there's a John Mayer song and an Oasis song, I think, that are both drop D.
Yeah.
And they're so I love drop D tuning and I hate it because you have to fucking retune your entire guitar to play one song because not all of us have 15 guitars just sitting there waiting, to be tuned to whatever. But it's so cool. It's such a unique sound. You're able to do things you just can't do otherwise. It's so,
Yeah. There's this thing. I just watched a video where he's explaining it, and he goes, "Okay, you just pull this out, boom," and it goes to drop D tuning. And then if you don't want to play in drop D anymore, you just push the thing fucking back in.
I don't know.
It goes back to the regular tuning.
That's weird.
Yeah. I'll send you the video. God damn it! Somebody just put out a video. He did a video visiting somebody, and it's fucking driving me nuts. Give me 2 seconds.
All right. While we're giving the Meanie 2 seconds, we're going to remind you one more time to go over to manscaped.com, use the promo code Meanie, save yourself 20% and free shipping. Your balls will thank you. Also, cellotoys.net and JBToys1 on Instagram for the new Mind of the Meanie action figures. You can pre-order those. And while he's taking just that one more second, we're going to talk about ProWrestlingTees.com/Mind of the Meanie, where you can get some great merchandise. Let's also remind you to go to ProWrestlingTees.com/Blue Meanie and ProWrestlingTees.com/So Says Shernoff to get some great things. And you know what? I'm going to take this last 30 seconds to tell you all about YouTube.com/So Says Shernoff, which is just about 17 away from hitting 1,000. Just put some new interviews up there with the Good Brothers and Deanna Parazzo, the Virtuosa. These are interviews that I did for Fight a couple days ago. They're good. They're fun. Check them out and subscribe if you would be so kind. But of course, make sure you subscribe to youtube.com/Mind of the Meanie. Also, go to mindofthemeanie.com. That'll take you to a huge link of all of our things. The only issue is it might ask you some weird question of whether or not it's okay to be a part of it. We're having some issues. So any of our Pod Squad members who are really good at that, I don't know what the hell's going on. I tried to contact GoDaddy, and I don't know what is going on with our website because I tried to just forward our domain to something else, and it's all kind of screwed up now because someone changed something, someone we were working with before to get the website up there. He changed a key or something, and it just... everything went to hell in a handbasket. So in the meantime, you can just go to all of our social media and get all of our wonderful links there. But try mindofthemeanie.com, see if it's working now. Welcome back, Meanie.
Yeah, Eddie visited this guitar player named Jason Becker. That's the name I was. Jason Becker was this virtuoso. The guy was going to be the next Eddie Van Halen. Not
to be confused with the Virtuosa, who I just interviewed. Check that out, youtube.com/So Says Shernoff. Subscribe.
But, Jason Becker came down with Lou Gehrig's disease. So there's a video where that Jason Becker's family just put up in memory of Eddie. And it never released before. Eddie visited Jason Becker, and he brought him a guitar, signed guitar, hung around with the family, played Jason's guitar. And this is right around the time of Van Halen 3. And he's playing a guitar, and he's demonstrating how he does drop D tuning in the video. And it's just where you put the strings through for the, to bring them up and then put them up the neck and all that stuff, down at the base where you play. There's a little pin down there he pulls out, and his guitar goes to drop D tuning.
Yeah, you're going to have to send this to me. That's really interesting.
Yeah, and he's just sitting there just fucking jamming. He's playing songs that hadn't even come out yet. And
That's awesome.
Songs that were in the chamber for Van Halen 3, and
that's awesome.
Album was great. I loved it. You know, I'm an unapologetic Eddie fan. I don't care. But
I've heard
it was
that
a good album. I mean, if they would have called the band something else, maybe. Yeah. But then again, his name's Van Halen. It's kind of hard, right?
Yeah.
But like I said, they should have probably just toured first, and then, you know, get a feel for each other, and then through that process, you know, you start writing together. Because like after that tour, they were working on a second record, you know, before Gary, you know, gave Shit Can Gary and brought Sammy back. But yeah, they were working on a second album, and never came to. They recorded like 2 songs and stuff.
Did you hear the Sammy Hagar reference on AEW?
Yeah,
that was fantastic.
Well, here's the funny part about, you know, the Sammy Hagar thing is, Jericho's fucking clique is called the Inner Circle, and Sammy Hagar has a band called The Circle.
That's funny.
It's Sammy Hagar, Michael Anthony, Jason Bonham, and I can't remember his guitar player's name because I'm not a big fan of his guitar player. But
call him Joe.
Joe, yeah,
just Joe.
Yeah, I judge players by if they can handle Eddie's material when they play with Sammy. Wow. So I don't like the way he plays Eddie's tunes. I'm sure his regular songs with Sammy's are great, but
so we're gonna do 3 more questions here.
Sure,
because they're all really good. We'll start with James Sorensen. Favorite Dark Side of the Ring episode?
Wow. They just did ad-free shows.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to see that yet, but I'm going to have to check that out.
Probably the Bruiser Brody one, just for the fact that, you know, that was the documentary that kicked off the whole series. Mm-hmm. But the fact that it still fucking bothers me that story wasn't a bigger story than when it was, and then they went and did the documentary about it. You know, how does a wrestler get murdered in a locker room in Puerto Rico and it's not a bigger fucking issue, you know?
Yeah.
So the fact that they were, I always, you know, for even before they did that episode, I was like, man, there needs to be a fucking movie about Bruiser Brody.
Yeah.
There needs to be a documentary about Bruiser Brody. I would pitch Bruiser Brody to anybody, you know, oh man, check this story out, you know? But, yeah, that was my favorite episode. Probably second one was probably the Gino Hernandez one.
Because, to be honest with you, it's the only one I've never seen.
Really?
Yeah, I have to see it.
I won't get into details, but
yeah, my brother told me too. He's like, "You haven't seen that one?" And I was like, for whatever reason, it was like, oh, okay, I'll watch this one instead, you know, and I'll get back to the other one, and I just never did. But at this point,
yeah, definitely watch it. And they just announced for season 3 they're doing Brian Pillman.
I think that's going to be fantastic.
It's going to be a 2-parter.
So
Steve Austin,
and that's what I was going to say. My top would have to be either Owen Hart or Benoit. And the reason being, these were things because of, you know, my age, my time period as a fan. They provided a fraction of closure to stories that there will be no closure for, you know?
Yeah.
But they were finding out as much information about the incidents that happen in those, especially the Owen Hart one, really seeing his kids, seeing Martha, seeing what they were able to create with the money that they received, that they were able to create this incredible fund. And
I wish that was a 2-parter as well.
Me too. My camera's gone again, and it's back. I think it just can't handle being on this long. Time for a new camera. No, I think Sean Jones says I still haven't watched the Owen episode. Oh man, you have to, because the thing is, there's never going to be closure on his his passing. It's not going to happen. It's something that never should have happened, and it's always going to be horrible. But there was something great to be able to see his kids grown up and look at them and see what, decent people they've become, and just kind of like, because one of the most heart-wrenching things about what happened to him was thinking of his children. Like that was, so to me, to be able to see them being well, if that makes sense.
Level-headed. And
that was
well-adjusted in such a horrible instance.
Yeah. That was, that to me, I thought that was something really important.
It definitely put me on Team Martha, too.
Yeah. You know what? That was something, too, because...
That's something that needed to be done.
That's a great point, because she had been villainized. And if not villainized, she had been placed in like she just doesn't understand his importance to the wrestling world and all that stuff. Well, guess what?
What about
now
Owen's legacy?
A micro brawler of Owen Hart. We've got Owen Hart merchandise. She gets it. She understands. But all of that stuff, proceeds are going to the foundation. All of the, there's you need to watch it to understand her side. And I have such a huge respect for the fact that I have respect for everything that she went through.
She stood her ground.
What's that?
Stood her ground.
Yeah.
She stood her ground. Which
and when his son said about in the thing about how, he'll never sign off on Owen being in the Hall of Fame and doing stuff like that. I looked at it and I said, you know what? He shouldn't be. It's his family. It's supposed to be in the Hall of Fame is an honor for the person. If they've passed, it's an honor for their family. The family doesn't want it. Who are you honoring?
Right.
And now I think we're in a position where he's being represented. He's not being forgotten. And I think that's a great thing too, that who he was and his wrestling career is not forgotten, but it's time to show that respect to the family. But,
absolutely. Absolutely.
2 more questions here. Devin Miller writes, does Meanie or Josh enjoy any kind of country music?
Yeah. Yeah.
I was never a big country fan, but my wife's kind of turned me on to something.
I'll put it this way. I don't seek it out, but when it's on, I enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? Mrs. Meanie's more into country than me. She listens to country. I mean, she's not diehard. But like
it can't be like my truck and my dog country. It just doesn't get. But
she thinks my tractor's sexy.
Yeah, like that's. I'm just like, all right. But
I do.
Darius Rucker.
He's phenomenal.
So good. I love his stuff. But I love Hootie and the Blowfish too.
Yeah.
But
they got a bad rap.
Yeah, I don't know why. Because they were just too popular. They were too successful.
Yep. Familiarity breeds contempt.
Yep. Darius Rucker, huge wrestling fan.
Big Flair country fan. Big Crockett fan.
Yep. Give him a call. Get him on the show.
I don't have that. I do want to get like Dr. Ken on here because I knew he grew up in Carolina.
Dr. Ken.
I
know you have 150 shows now on Fox, but we'd love to have you on at some point. That would be a special.
Yeah, man.
And hey, you know what we need to do? I'm going to write it down. We need to schedule time to film our special for YouTube.
Yeah,
with Wildcat Belts.
He's down. He told me he's down.
So that's coming.
I filmed a commercial for him too.
Good.
I love Andrew. He's a great guy, man. He's just such a good fucking person.
Yeah, I love Andrew too, but it's a different Andrew because I haven't met the other one.
Well, the one I love, our careers kind of ascended together. Yeah. Like he managed for Norm Connors and Steel City Wrestling as I was breaking in, but then he started getting into the belt making, and he's got what he's got now, and it was so cool to watch him do that.
Yeah, to
know,
grow.
and
Oh man, he's going to be, by the end of this, when I start asking questions, he is going to regret agreeing to do this because I am such a belt mark. Like I just,
Yeah, same
it's
here.
It's going to be all the way down to like, so when you imprint the leather, how much pressure would you say you're putting on the, I want to know everything, which by the way, shout out again, and we're plugging ad-free shows. Yes, we have a show on ad-free shows that is free. You can watch That Was Extreme for free. So we're not encouraging you to order, to subscribe to ad-free shows for that. But man, that Title Chase, have you had a chance to see it yet?
I need to watch it.
I waited because I didn't want to watch it when I'd be like disturbed. I didn't want to watch it like I made sure I found a time, and it was like eventually like everyone went to sleep.
How long is it?
40 minutes or so.
That's good.
It is so incredibly produced.
I want to see it. Yeah.
And I told Conrad, I'm like, dude, this is so good. This is so good. And he, gave all that credit over to Dave Silva, who and Chris McDonald, who then Dave gave all the credit to Chris, and Chris said thank you. But no, there's everyone who was involved in that just did such an amazing job. I wasn't sure what to expect. It is so detailed about that one specific U.S. title belt. And the next one they're going to be doing next month is about the tag titles and these are belts that, if you've been to StarCast, you've had the opportunity to hold these belts. And I've held, it's going to be the tag titles that Owen and the Bulldog held, and Austin and Mick and all that stuff. These, I'm like over the moon excited for this. Like this is like, I feel like someone made something that was like made just for me. Like that's how, so definitely go out of your way to check that out.
This is like your OnlyFans video.
It really
Custom video.
You strip those belts down and show me everything you got.
Give it a little polish.
Yep. But yeah, it's man, so good. Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm just picturing those belts without their
You just went catatonic for a second there.
man. No, I was reading one of the comments that was sent in. I now pre-read our comments.
There's a concept.
But anyway, okay, last question here comes from
Ron Burgundy.
last question comes from Lonnie Reimer at That Dude Lon. Fun question for you.
Good.
Would you rather be able to see 27 seconds into the future, but you'll get diarrhea for a day, or be able to turn water into beer whenever you want, but it's always Milwaukee's best ice that's warm? What?
Get diarrhea?
Continue to have diarrhea?
I would need to stop having diarrhea in order to get diarrhea.
Oh.
I would rather just have the beer. Fuck it. Because if I see 27 seconds into the future, I'm going to go, but what?
Yeah.
But then again,
27 seconds into the future, you're like, oh, yeah, it's me sitting on the toilet having diarrhea.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I see in your future a lot of wiping and chafing.
Oh man. Yeah. Well,
Squid ink
this was a lot of, this was a great Ask Meanie, I thought.
Yeah,
this was a lot
it
of
was.
fun. But
well, the beer gives you diarrhea too, so you get the beer shits.
so here's the thing, like I feel like somewhere like diarrhea needs to be removed from the equation. Although sometimes a good bout of diarrhea is what you need. Start fresh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm feeling a little bloated.
Yeah.
Let me eat some bad cheese on purpose.
Do you have a button you can press with all this talk, Meanie?
Not. Oh yeah.
I was expecting that at some point. I already hit us with the. Anyway.
Hold on. You hit that.
All right. The remix. Oh, I didn't get the Karen.
Son of a bitch.
Hold on. I'm going to find it for everybody. So there's a video that's going around. Where did I send it to you? Meanie's like so Meanie does not spend all of his time on one form of communication. So when I have to go like find where I sent this to, it's like, all right, was this on Twitter? Was this on a text? Was this a DM? Did you send it to me or did I send it to you?
I think you sent it to me.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's not in this one. Did I text it to you and I just don't see it? Oh, here it is. Okay. All right. We're not going to listen to the whole thing. We'll go to the last, like.
Oh, the whole thing's so fucking.
Yeah, but here we go.
Stop it! No!
Put your arms back. Stop resisting.
Let go! I am not under arrest! Leave me alone!
This is a woman who, from what I gathered, like wasn't wearing a mask in a place where she had to wear a mask. And the cop just kept being like, you have to leave. You have to leave. And like he had his hand on her wrist and she just kept yelling about, well, all right, here we go. Let me just bring it back. She just kept yelling about, let's bring it to the part where she starts yelling. Here you go.
Let go of me.
I'm happy you step out.
This is because the police department are ignorant of their constitutional rights. Okay. This is why this man has his hand on me, and he's on my personhood, and I have the right to protect my personhood. No,
the right to protect her personhood. This woman,
you gotta fight. Well, you're right. But the right to her personhood. I tried to make it work.
This woman dressed in, I guess,
Jimmy
Snuka chic. I don't know what the fuck she's like. It was unbelievable. If you like, look, we're not here to get into, we don't get into politics, don't get anything like that. But this privileged woman, just, let's put it this way. You know that you're being treated differently than other people when you have the ability to cut a whole 2-minute promo into the camera while a cop gently touches your wrist. You know what I mean? Like, and then at the end when she was finally being arrested for, everything she did in that video, having to be dragged out. And I don't even know if she was arrested. Chances are she was probably just like, they cuffed her so they'd sit her down and like have a conversation. But I mean, she just screamed and screamed. It was the funniest thing. You love to see things like that happen to these people.
To assholes.
Yeah, it's just like, come on. Like, come on.
That takes much more energy than just
put a fucking
being
mask
a good
on. You just put a fucking mask on.
Yeah.
Irresponsible piece of shit. Like, come on.
It's like wearing a seatbelt. Just fucking put it on.
Yeah. There's that here's the thing, and people like my brother reminded me of this, which I think I may have sent to him, which I think you may have sent to me, or I sent to you. I don't know, whatever it was. It was a meme that basically explained wearing masks. And I want to share it with everyone. Not the meme, but I'll explain it to you. So they compared it to someone pissing on you. All right.
Right.
So the pants are the mask. So if neither of you are wearing pants and someone pisses on your leg, you're going to be soaked in urine. If you're wearing pants and they're not, and they piss on you, you're not going to get as wet because your pants are going to absorb some of it, but you're still going to get a good amount of piss on you. But if you're both wearing pants, they're just pissing themselves, nothing gets on you. And that's pretty much it. So wear your fucking masks, because it is January 18th as people are listening to this on Monday, 2021, and AEW just moved for the second time, just moved their show in New Jersey that was rescheduled for February, because when they rescheduled it for October and thought this shit'll be over by then, and then had to reschedule in October for February because they thought this shit'll be over by then, they've now rescheduled it for September. So for the love of God, I want to go to that show.
Yeah.
Let's just not be a bunch of idiots. All right.
Yeah.
That's it.
Don't be an asshole.
Don't be an asshole. So yeah, that's all I got to say about that. As our good personal friend Steve Austin would say, and by our good personal friend, I mean I met him once, and Meanie is actually friends with him. So that's fine. That's fine. Meanie's a big shot. He has Cameo.
Oh well, yeah.
Hey, who wants to start sending messages to Cameo going, the fuck?
Yeah.
No, I mean, there are people on Cameo, and like, I legitimately have had people be like, oh, do you have a Cameo? As far as I'm concerned, that's money out of my pocket, Cameo. You know, people might want me to sing happy birthday to them or tell them to stop licking batteries. Okay?
Right.
I could be saving the world right now. You don't know. But more importantly than that, Meanie, hashtag balls out for Virgil.
Yes.
Everybody, if you haven't done it yet, what are you doing? Hashtag balls out for Virgil. Tell us what you want. If you want to send us a thing that says meat sauce, fine. He's going to mention it anyway.
I'm here for the mind of the meat sauce.
Yeah, mind of the meat sauce. That's it. Please make him say that so Slichter can make us a shirt.
Yes. We saw the meat. We just need the sauce.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
God.
Fucking balls.
Just not plural. There's just one.
It was like fucking...
You have to imagine, based on his positioning, that it was his right ball. But you don't know. For all I know, they're either, hanging low. Maybe there's a testicular torsion going on there. Like, who knows what? I don't know the situation.
It's like the movie The Blob. When it starts coming out of the movie theater, it's just pouring out of his fucking shorts.
By the way, I'm going to write this down because Anthony Camerata is suggesting Mind of the Meat Sauce should be the episode title. I think how do you spell balls might actually get crossed off. What do you think, Meanie?
Yeah, Mind of the Meat Sauce.
Mind of the Meat Sauce.
Yep.
All right.
That's it.
That's it.
We have a winner.
See, you can
we have a winner.
You can also join our Patreon so that you can start naming our episodes for us.
Nice.
It's appreciated. So yeah, we're gonna do that. Episode 43, Mind of the Meat Sauce. Fantastic. Yeah, well, Meanie, I think it's getting to be that time to wrap this up. Take a little
put a little bow on it.
Yeah, and then we'll take a little bathroom break and go record our watch along. So join patreon.com/Mind of the Meanie if you want to be able to watch along with us and check out these watch alongs. We're going to be doing Royal Rumble 99. We did Royal Rumble 92 last week as a make good for December. Obviously with the holidays, we had to push that. But we're going to do Royal Rumble 99. We're going to do a watch along, which if you have the appropriate tier, $10 and up on Mind of the Meanie, you're able to watch that with us live. But any tier on Mind of the Meanie's Patreon, you will be able to check that out after the fact. So join now, patreon.com/Mind of the Meanie, and check that out. I thought that was a great episode, the watch along that we were able to do for 92. James Sorensen asks, are there any royalties for naming episodes? Absolutely not. We put you over on the episode. That's it. And even then, sometimes we'll just claim it was our own. But yeah, so please join us over on Patreon. Join us at youtube.com/mindofthemeanie. Yeah, that's it. I mean, that's really... Got really nothing else to give at this point.
No, thank you for another great episode. If you'd like to support us, go to prowrestlingtees.com/Blue Meanie. If you'd like to support Mine and Meanie, go to prowrestlingtees.com/Mine and Meanie. If you'd like to support Josh Shernoff, go to prowrestlingtees.com/So Says Shernoff. And get the shirt he's wearing right now. Sarcasm is my superpower. My favorite shirt. If you want to support me, go to cameo.com/BlueMeanieBWO. And anything else?
Make sure to go to manscaped.com, promo code Meanie, save 20% and free shipping. Take care of your balls, because you never know when they might pop out during a cameo.
And go to Collar and Elbow Wrestling.
CollarandElbowBrand.com for the wrestling brand. Collar and Elbow, yes.
Wrestling.
Good point, Meanie.
Use promo code Meanie and save 10%. They got so many good shirts over there. A lot of quality shirts. Go get the Collar BWO shirt. Collar and LBWO shirt. Because we took over. But yeah, go to CollarandElbowBrand.com and say hi to Al and Rod Hicks.
And make sure to join us again next Monday and every Monday forever and ever and ever and always for another trip into the mind of the Meanie.
Blue World Order. The world of MLW radio never stops.